Okay, today's objective is to solve one-step equations, and when we solve one-step equations, we use inverse operations. Inverse means opposite, so you're going to use opposite operations. So if the problem has adding, you're going to subtract. If it has subtract, you're going to add. If it has multiply, you'll divide. If it has divide, you'll multiply. Okay, so let's look at some problems. And we're going to do a bunch of different ones. So first one, x plus 17 equals 96. So see this x, our goal is to get it by itself. With it is this plus 17. So to get x by itself, we have to get rid of plus 17. This is where our inverse operations come into play. The opposite of positive 17 or plus 17 is negative 17. So I do minus 17 minus 17. This goes away, plus 17 minus 17, they're opposites, it cancels. Over here I need to do the subtracting. And I get 79. So x equals 79. And that's our answer. So number 2, 15 equals n minus 97. Here's n. With it is minus 97. That's what has to go away. So to get rid of minus 97, I add it to both sides. So plus 97 plus 97. 15 plus 97 is 112. So 112 equals n. Number 3, negative x equals 13. Now when I look at that negative x equals 13, there's no number there, so I put a 1. Now between that negative 1 and the x, there's an invisible multiply sign. Remember when there's a number and a letter side by side, it's multiply. So I'm going to stick a little dot in there to help us remember. So if negative 1 is being multiplied by x, the opposite is divide. So I write divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 cancels out, and you're left with x equals, and what's 13 divided by negative 1? Negative 13. There's our answer. Number 4, we're going to throw in a fraction problem. 2/3 x equals 18. Now, this fraction problem is really 2/3 times x. So the opposite of multiply is divide. When we divide with fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal. So we take 2/3, we flip it over, and multiply. So multiply by 3/2, multiply by 3/2. You flip the fraction over, and you multiply. Now when we multiply fractions, we put 18 over 1. The 2 and the 18 cancel and makes 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, so let's look at number 5. Number 5 is w over 3.2 equals 5. Now this really means w divided by 3 2/10. So w divided by 3 2/10. So the opposite of dividing by 3 2/10 is to multiply by 3 2/10. The multiply and the divide will cancel each other. You're left with w equals, and then I multiply, and I get 16. So w equals 16. So number 6, I'm going to throw another fraction problem in. P plus 3 1/8 equals 7 1/2. So if it's P plus 3 1/8, we need to subtract 3 1/8. So minus 3 1/8 minus 3 1/8. And you get P equals. Now in order to subtract these fractions, you have to have a common denominator. The common denominator for 2 and 8 is 8. You could also use 16 or some other ones, but 8 is the easiest and the smallest. 2 times what's 8? 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. Now that I have the same denominator, I can subtract. 4/8 minus 1/8 is 3/8. 7 minus 3 is 4. Number 7. Now problem number 7 is actually going to be a two-step problem, but it's included on the assignment for today, so I want to make sure you know how to do it. 9 minus x equals 11. So this 9 has to go away. So when I look at 9, it's positive. The opposite of positive 9 is negative 9. So I'm subtracting 9 from both sides. 9 minus 9 goes away. Bring down that minus sign as a negative, and then 11 minus 9 is 2. Now this negative x is just like the one we did back up here on number 3. I put a 1 there, and so it's negative 1x equals 2. Divide by negative 1, and x equals negative 2. Okay, number 8. We're going to do 2 word problems, but they're short word problems. So number 8, 6 less than a number is 15. So 6 less than a number is 15. The first thing we have to do on this problem is translate it into an equation. 6 less than a number means x minus 6. 6 less than a number is 15. And then we solve it like we did all the others. So to get rid of that minus 6, we add 6 to both sides. So you get x equals 21. So let's look at number 9. Number 9, if 6x equals 18, find negative 5x. Okay, so this is kind of a 2-step problem. It's not a 2-step equation, it's a 2-step problem. So this first part, if 6x equals 18, then we can find negative 5x. So we have to solve this first. Solve that equation. 6x equals 18 means divide by 6, and x is 3. Now that I know x, I can find negative 5x by doing negative 5 times 3, which is negative 15.